Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Judge.
I'm sorry, we're having technical difficulties in the new year. Hold on a second. I'm doing 2 or 3 different things at one time. Ms. Harrison, Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year.
New Year, Judge.
Come on, McBride.
Get that glare out of there. All right. All right, sorry, everybody. Let's get started if we're all ready. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Judge Regina Mincy, and we're going to begin the Fulton County State Court Expedited Accusations calendar. This is a calendar for cases in which individuals have been recently arrested and charged with certain misdemeanor offenses. Soon thereafter, the Fulton County Solicitor General's office has already accused the cases of offenses brought against them, and the case has been bound over to the Fulton County State Court. Nevertheless, this will usually be the defendant's initial appearance before a state court judge on some of the cases. So we're going to address several matters today, including bond, possible arraignment, and consideration of a possible plea offer if one is made by the state at this juncture. We're also going to be providing individuals with the reset date for arraignment if it is not held today. I'm going to begin and advise everyone that this whole entire proceeding is being recorded as well as live streamed on YouTube. And I want you also to know that you have a right to remain silent, and it is your constitutional right. Anything that you say about the facts or the occurrences or circumstances of your case can and will be used against you, so govern yourself accordingly. You do have representation, which you're entitled to, so listen and defer to your attorneys before speaking. My reset dates, Ms. Bridgewater, January 24th.
25th for the SAP calendar.
January 25th for SAP.
And if they should get a signature bond, it will go back to their prospective judge.
Okay, return to the division judge. Okay. All right. We're ready to start. Who do we have first, deputies?
Good afternoon, Judge. We have position 13, Ms. Ridley.
Okay. That Lakita Ridley?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, this is case number 22 CR 000118G, and you're charged with 1 count of hit and run. The offense date is August the 10th, 2021. Ms. Harrison, do we have anything from pretrial? Oh, I think you're muted, Ms. Harrison.
I apologize. Second cycle. First arrest was January of 2019 for criminal trespass and disorderly conduct in Fulton County. That arrest was no pros. She is recommended for UJR with pretrial. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. All right. For the state, we have Ms. Duncan.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Happy New Year.
Same to you.
This incident took place on August 10th, 2021 at 1211 Moreland Avenue, Southeast Atlanta, Georgia, which is the Popeyes drive-through. In this incident, a collision occurred in the Popeyes drive-through where the victim in this case, Ms. Sierra Brown, said that she felt an impact from behind which was caused by the defendant's vehicle in this case. And both parties got out of their vehicles and said that they were going to move out of the drive-through so that the line can move. And after moving out of the way, the defendant immediately left the scene once she got back into her vehicle. The victim in this case followed the defendant for a little while to get the tag number, but she eventually pulled over. The passenger that was with Miss Brown in this case sustained minor injuries. And upon further contact with this victim in this case, we were notified that she said that her index finger is stiff and will not bend, and she's been having really bad headaches due to the car accident. The victim in this case no longer has a car, apparently due to the damage that was assessed after the fact. And the victim stated that she is now has really bad anxiety and is afraid to drive due to this accident. It's for these reasons and the fact that we believe that the defendant is a danger to other drivers on the road. This case has a bond set at $3,000 surety by judge. We request that it remain the same and that there be no driving by this defendant, giving her, in addition, her history. She has about 5 tickets dating back to 2006, and the most recent one was a following too closely in 2015. It's for those reasons we request the bond as stated.
All right. Ms. Gant?
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Today I will be requesting a signature bond on Ms. Ridley's behalf. Ms. Ridley is 35 years old. She is a lifelong Atlanta resident. She has family here as well. She has 3 children, ages 19, 15, and 8. She also has 2 grandchildren. They're twins and they're 1 year old. She has completed cosmetology school and she's self-employed as a stylist. I am requesting a signature bond today. Ms. Ridley denies the allegation. She denies being the driver. She states that she had sold that car. And furthermore, regarding driving offenses, the last offense that we heard from the state is 2015. I believe that is too remote. Therefore, Your Honor, I am requesting a signature bond. If Your Honor determines that she is not inclined, then a bond of no more than $350. And furthermore, we are opposed to the order or the recommendation to limit driving by the defendant. Thank you.
Mhm. And you said, Ms. Gant, that the defendant states that it was not her?
That is her assertion, Your Honor.
And what's the arrest date is January the 9th?
Yes, Your Honor. However, the incident occurred on August 10th, 2021.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. So she was not arrested on the scene or anything.
No, she fled.
All right, since she qualifies, I'm going to go ahead and recommend a $3,500 signature bond through pretrial. I am going to order that there be no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. I am going to also order that there be limited driving to work, doctors, or to see her lawyers. Any other time she needs to be at home or using ride shares or cabs or Ubers. But the limited driving will be for work, medical appointments or attention, and to see her attorney. Is that clear, Ms. Ridley?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is there anything else that I need to take up on this case?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
Anything
Nothing from
from
the state.
Were you in medical?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right, that should conclude this matter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next, we'll have position 14, Thornton.
Your Honor, the state would request a breakout session for that case.
Okay. So it needs to be ASG Long, Deputy Falk, and is this your case, Ms. Gant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and Ms. Gant. All right, good.
Judge Missy, you're on mute.
Thought I did it. Sorry about that. On case, position number 14. Is this still Mr. Bennett Thornton? At the jail? We can't, there we go. Is this Mr. Thornton still?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Thornton, I'm ordering a $4,000 surety bond. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while you're on bond. And I'm ordering you to stay away from 204 Doc Latham Trail in Ball Ground, Georgia.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Thornton, please be silent while the judge is ruling.
Well,
I'm going to order that there be no further contact with Amy Thornton. Now, I'm ordering some evaluations. So your reset date will be January the 25th unless you make bond prior to.
Judge, it's actually Annie Thornton, not Amy Thornton.
Oh, I'm sorry, Annie. So you're to have no further contact with her right now, okay? While you're on bond. All right, that should conclude this matter.
Your Honor, may I speak?
Mr. Thornton,
The attorney.
I advise you to remain silent. Anything that you say can and will be used against you, sir.
Well, I just have something important to say. That's all.
If it's about the facts of the case, I advise you not to speak. If you have a question about your bond, please reach out to me.
I just want to say my parents are my guardians, and I'm schizophrenic. I can't really function without my family or my home. I'm disabled and I live there.
Mr. Thornton, I advise you to remain silent, Your Honor. Mr. Thornton, I advise you to remain silent.
All right, that should conclude this matter.
All right, next we'll have position 9, Mr. Lewis.
All right. Are you Damien Lewis?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is case number 22 CR 000-107A. And you're charged with certain acts on the bus, rail, or station prohibited, and possession and use of drug-related objects, both with an offense date of January the 9th, 2022. Do you have anything pre-trial?
Your Honor, 23 cycles with history in Georgia, North Carolina, and Maryland. Last arrest, July of 2021, failure to appear in Sandy Springs. Underlying charge was not indicated. Record does reflect the defendant is currently on probation in Fulton County for possession of heroin, case 20 SC 174270, sentenced January of 2020, 2 years probation. Additional open probation in Cobb County for possession of cocaine, case 1990921, sentenced April of 2019, 6 months confinement, 2 years, 6 months probation. Record also indicates the defendant is currently on probation in Baltimore County, Maryland for burglary in the 3rd degree, sentenced September of 2015, 10 years probation. Record reflects the defendant has 4 violations of probation and 5 failure to appear within the past 10 years. Also 2 holds, one in Sandy Springs and the other out of North Carolina. Nothing further to add.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is my case.
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Walker.
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant was arrested after being advised to stop smoking at the Little 5 Points train station. He was smoking in a or in an area where smoking was not prohibited. The defendant did refuse to stop smoking at that time. The defendant was taken into custody. Search incident to arrest revealed that the defendant also did have a glass crack pipe in his possession. At that time, he was taken into custody for certain acts prohibited and drug-related objects. On the first charge of certain acts prohibited, a $500 good bond has already been set. And for the second drug-related objects, the state is requesting another $500 good bond, reflective of the defendant's history. I think I counted at least 2 or 3 different probations that he currently is on, along with other FTAs. The state's position that is a more than reasonable bond for these charges.
Okay.
And we also are requesting a stay away from the MARTA while on bond, Your Honor.
All MARTA?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. And I have, oh, Ms. Thomas, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, Your Honor. Your Honor, Mr. Lewis is 36 years of age. He's been a Georgia resident for the past 4 years. He currently lives in the Atlanta area. Mr. Lewis did express to me that he's currently unemployed. He does do odd jobs here and there, but he did express that he has no ability to make the current bond amount. We acknowledge that he has a hold out of Sandy Springs, and I believe pretrial said North Carolina that we were just made aware of. So I am asking for a signature bond on Mr. Lewis's behalf so that he can be released to those holds to take care of that matter. Again, Mr. Lewis has no ability to make bonds, and if he's not eligible for a signature bond, I am asking for the current bond to be reduced to a bond no more than $500.
Okay. Do you know if Mr. Lewis, does he live by himself or with someone else? Do you know?
He lives with a friend. He provided me the address.
Okay. All right, I'm going to order the $1,000 good bond or surety bond, $500 on each of the charges. I'm going to order that there be no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. I'm going to order stay away from all MARTA trains and buses and the stations as well, all MARTA properties. While on bond, stay away from them. And I think that is it. Is there anything else I need to take up?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing from the defense.
All right, that should conclude this case.
May I speak?
Mr. Lewis, so anything you're about to say or wish to say, if it's about these allegations, will be used against you. The judge has made her ruling. Now, if you have a question about bonds or those holds, we can talk after court has concluded.
No. It's just, I just wanted to say, about me being on probation currently in Cobb. That probation is over. The probation is over in Fulton County. So the only probation I'm on is the one that I have to hold for. So that information is incorrect.
All right, you can discuss that with your attorney after court.
What's she?
You can talk to them.
Is that a signature bond or a good bond?
Oh, you had a good bond, $1,000 good bond.
So what's that mean?
I'll tell you.
And Your Honor, I have an interpreter case. I'll need a breakout session
Okay.
for Mr. Lopez whenever I guess I can.
Okay. Is that the only interpreter case we have?
There was another one, but he is at Grady Hospital, so he's going to be reset. That's Mr. Fernandez.
I'll explain it to you.
Okay, so let's see.
Louis, I'll explain it to you. Next, we have position 11, Mr. Gant. I mean, I'm not Mr. Gant. Mr. McBride. So Mr. Gant.
All right, McBride Allen, it's hyphenated. Are you Mr. Alonzo McBride Allen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is case number 22 CR 000115D. Your charge is 1 count of reckless conduct. The offense date is January the 9th, 2022. Do we have anything pretrial?
Pretrial is muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Ms. Harrison, you're muted.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. No prior history.
Oh, okay. All right. For the state, Ms. Duncan?
Yes, Your Honor, this incident took place at 3909 Campbellton Road, Southwest in Atlanta at around 9:30 a.m. In this case, Your Honor, the defendant left his minor child, AM, inside the apartment unattended while he went to the store. Once the defendant in this case returned to the location, the minor child, AM, was found outside of the apartment unit. The state is particularly concerned about this behavior due to the danger of the child involved at very small, 2 to 3 years old age. And for those reasons, the state is requesting a $3,000 surety bond. And the state is also unaware if defects is involved in this case. Maybe the defense will have some information regarding that, but if defects is involved, to comply with any conditions stated by defects, the state would request that there be a third party available for any visitation with the child to ensure that someone is there to watch the child at all times to prevent this from occurring again. And we also are requesting a parenting class, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
All right, Ms. Grant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Alonzo McBride Allen is 28 years old. He has been in Atlanta all of his life. He is currently married and is the proud father of a 3-year-old child. Mr. McBride Allen completed high school. He also took up some studies in HVAC technician courses. Currently, he is working in construction. He has been employed by East Coast Grading for the past 5 years. I am requesting a signature bond. Mr. McBride Allen disputes the allegations. Furthermore, defects is not involved in this case. The child is in the home being cared for by him and his wife. We are opposed to any request for any third party while he is caring for his child in their home. And we also are opposed at this time to a parenting class. And for these reasons, again, I am requesting a signature bond. If Your Honor determines that he is ineligible, then a bond of no more than $400. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to order a signature bond through pretrial for $3,000. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. And as far as the child goes and visitation, I'm assuming he's going to return back to this location at 3909 Campbellton Road. I won't order him to stay away, but I will not allow the defendant, Mr. McBride Allen, to be alone with the child while on bond. So he needs to, I guess the mother or the wife needs to make provisions so that he is not the sitter or caretaker of this child while on bond. Cannot be alone with the child on bond, Ms. Bridgewater. You can put that in there. He should not be alone. Should always be supervised and have the wife or another third party if he has to be with the child at all. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons. And I think that is going to be it for the moment. Is there anything else I need to take up with this case?
Nothing further from the defense, Your Honor.
Anything from the state? Okay.
Yes, got it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, we have position 16, Welch.
right, are you Mr. Matthew Keith Welch? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, this is case number 22 CR 0000120Y. You're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass and damage to property, 1 count of loitering or prowling. The first charge with an offense date of January 8th, and the second charge with an offense date of January the 10th, 2022. And do we have anything from pretrial?
A prior history, Your Honor. He is recommended for UJR through pretrial.
All right, Mr. Long?
Thank you, Your Honor. So this incident occurred on January 8th for criminal trespass. There was also a loitering and prowling charge. We are asking for a $2,000 surety, $1,000, or I'm sorry, it's currently a $2,000 surety. We're asking for $1,000 surety total, $500 on each count. No further contact with victim Sarah Hornby, that's SARAHORNBY, and a stay away from 2049 Meter Avenue, Atlanta. No drugs or alcohol, and Meter is spelled MEADOR. In this incident, the law enforcement was dispatched for a loitering and prowling call at the 2049 location. Miss Hornsby indicated that a known homeless male had broken into her basement by breaking a wooden board. And the home was currently boarded up and vacant, but she has indicated that the defendant previously had damaged her home in the past. And when law enforcement had arrived, they approached the basement, shouted, and the defendant came out of the dwelling without incident. We are concerned about the potential for risk of reoffending because of Miss Hornsby's statement that the defendant had previously damaged her home in the past. And he did break into someone's house. So we are asking for $1,000 surety, $500 each count. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Gant?
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Matthew Welch is 30 years old. He is a long-term Atlanta resident. He's the father of a 7-year-old child. He completed some college credits at Atlanta Tech. In fact, he's 3 credits away from earning a certificate in computer programming. He is unemployed at this time and residentially challenged. However, he has a mailing address, and we will connect him with social services to obtain information regarding housing resources. I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Welch's behalf. He denies the allegations. He states that he resided in that area in the past. He receives mail in a property, and he was on site to retrieve his mail. Furthermore, I am not opposed to the stay away and the no contact with Ms. Sarah Hornsby, and would ask that you consider the signature bond in light of his prior history, which we did not hear of any convictions. And also he's unable to make any bond at this time. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to order a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial. I'm going to order that there be no further contact with Sarah. Is it Hornsby?
Yes, Your Honor. Hornsby, HORNSBY.
All right, and I'm going to order a stay away from 2049, is it Meter?
Yes, 2049 Meter Avenue.
Meter Avenue. Even though it may be a boarded or vacant home, Mr. Welch, you are not to go back to that location. If you're found at that location, you will be immediately arrested again. So you're to stay away from that location. There's to be no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. And then you'll have to report in to pretrial.
So Judge, instead of $1,000 on each one.
Yes, $1,000 on each charge, I'm sorry. And you'll have to wait for your next court date to be heard from by the division judge. And I think that concludes everything. Is anything else?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Next, we have position 10, Lopez.
All right, Madam Interpreter, can you raise your right hand for me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will faithfully interpret from English into Spanish, Spanish into English, and I assume that is it Spanish?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the proceedings before the court in an accurate manner to the best of your skill and knowledge with no embellishments?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Are you Mr. Humberto Lopez?
¿Es usted señor Humberto López? Yes.
All right, this is case number 22 CR 000-113C.
Este es el caso 22-CR000113C.
You're being charged with one count of DUI under the influence of alcohol less safe.
Usted tiene un cargo por manejar bajo los efectos del alcohol en el nivel de manejar incapacitado por el alcohol.
You're being charged with the second count of driving without a valid license.
Segundo cargo es por manejar sin licencia.
And you're being charged with the third count, which is driving and following too close.
Y el tercer cargo es por manejar de muy cerca.
And all with an offense date of January the 9th, 2022.
Y esta infracción se cometió el 9 de enero del 2022.
All right. Is there anything from pretrial?
¿Hay algo del servicio previo al juicio?
Your Honor, second arrest. First arrest
Este es el segundo arresto.
was March of 2018 for alien inadmissibility. Nothing further to add.
El otro anterior arresto fue en marzo del 2018 por inadmisibilidad indocumentada.
All right. Ms. Duncan?
Yes, Your Honor. This case took place on Howze Road. That's Houze Road.
Este caso ocurrió en el Howze Road, Hose Road.
This case currently has a bond set total of $4,500.
Este caso tiene una fianza establecida por un total de $4,000.
Surety.
Una fianza bajo garantía.
That's $2,500 for the DUI less safe.
2,500 por manejar bajo los efectos del alcohol.
1,000 for the driving without a valid license.
1,000 por manejar sin licencia válida.
And 1,000 for the following too closely.
Y $1,000 de fianza por el cargo de manejar de muy cerca.
The state is requesting an increase in the bond amount set.
La fiscalía requiere que se aumente en el total del monto de la fianza.
We are requesting $4,000 for the DUI less safe.
Pedimos que se cobre una fianza de $4,000 por el cargo de manejar bajo los efectos del alcohol en un estado de incapacitación.
1,000 for the driving without a valid license.
$1,000 por manejar sin licencia válida.
And 1,000 for the following too closely.
Y $1,000 por seguir de muy cerca.
In this case, officers responded to the scene of a vehicle crash.
En este caso, los oficiales respondieron a una llamada de un accidente automovilístico.
Where a red Volvo had crashed into the back of the rear of a BMW.
Donde un Volvo rojo había chocado por detrás a un BMW.
The red Volvo was driven by the defendant in this case.
El vehículo que era un Volvo rojo estaba manejado por este acusado.
While on scene, officers detected an odor of alcohol coming from the defendant's person.
En el lugar de los hechos, los oficiales pudieron percibir un olor a alcohol que venía de este acusado.
The officer asked the defendant through his sister, who was interpreting, if he had had anything to drink.
A través de la hermana de este acusado, quien estaba interpretando, el policía le preguntó al acusado qué había estado tomando.
The defendant admitted to having 2 to 3 beers in the last hour.
Y el acusado admitió tomar 2 o 3 cervezas en la última hora.
The defendant also presented with red, watery eyes.
Y también el acusado se veía con ojos vidriosos y rojizos.
When asked for his license, the defendant replied to the officer that he did not have one.
Cuando se le pidió una licencia, este acusado respondió al oficial de policía que no tenía una.
The defendant in this case also declined to participate in the field sobriety test.
Y este acusado, en este caso, se negó a participar en una prueba hecha en el lugar.
Due to the nature of this offense, we are also requesting no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Debido a la naturaleza de este caso, también pedimos que no se le otorgue permiso al uso de drogas, alcohol u armas.
We are also requesting no driving.
Y también que no conduzca más.
All right. Ms. Thomas?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Lopez's behalf, specifically due to his very limited criminal history. As we heard, this is his second arrest, and Mr. Lopez has no prior DUIs or serious traffic offenses.
Muy bien, lo que yo quisiera pedir, su señoría, es una fianza bajo firma, especialmente dado a que no tiene antecedentes penales y como escuchamos, este fue su segundo arresto. El señor López, como dije, no tiene ningún otro tipo de delito de tránsito.
Mr. Lopez is 24 years of age, and he's been a Georgia resident for the past 3 years.
Él tiene 24 años de edad y ha sido un residente del estado de Georgia en los últimos 3 años.
He has family members also residing in the state.
Y también tiene familiares que residen en el estado.
And he is gainfully employed in Cumming, Georgia, where he works with a tree service company, and he has been working there for the past 2 years.
Él también está lealmente trabajando en la ciudad de Cummings, en Georgia, donde él trabaja para una compañía de servicios de árboles y lo ha hecho durante los últimos 2 años.
If Mr. Lopez is not entitled to a signature bond, we are asking that the current bond be reduced to no more than $2,000.
Si él no puede recibir una fianza bajo firma, pedimos que el señor López se le permita tener su fianza reducida a un monto de $2,000.
We are opposed to the state's request for no driving.
Estamos opuestos con la petición de la fiscalía a que él no conduzca más.
Being that Mr. Lopez has not been found guilty for these charges.
Debido a que el señor López no ha sido encontrado culpable por dichos cargos.
Nothing further.
Nada más.
The state would just like to add that despite his lack of criminal history,
la fiscalía quisiera agregar que a pesar de la carencia de antecedentes penales en este acusado,
or his lack of driving history,
o la carencia de tener antecedentes de infracciones al conducir,
the choice to drink and drive is dangerous,
la elección de beber alcohol y manejar es peligrosa,
making him a danger to himself and others on the road,
haciendo a este acusado peligroso para sí mismo y otros.
the choice to drive under the influence,
la elección de manejar bajo la influencia o efectos del alcohol,
could have resulted in the death of any of the parties involved.
Podría haber resultado en la muerte de alguna de las partes involucradas en este caso.
It is for these reasons that the state requests the bond and the conditions as stated.
Por estas, entonces, son las razones por las que la Fiscalía pide que se establezcan estas condiciones y la mencionada monto de fianza.
Okay. I'm going to order a bond in the amount of the 4,500.
Voy a ordenar una fianza de $4,000.
And that's going to be a signature bond through pretrial.
Y esta será una fianza bajo firma a través de los servicios previos al juicio.
No driving except for work, doctor, medical, and to see your attorney.
También se le prohíbe conducir un vehículo con excepción para ir al trabajo, al doctor, por razones médicas o para visitar a su abogado.
And so, did I say, Ms. Bridgewater, the breakdown, 2,500 for the DUI, 1,000 for driving without a license, and 1,000 for following too close?
Lo dije correctamente, 2,500 por el manejar por los efectos del alcohol, 1,000 por no licencia y 1,000 por seguir de muy cerca.
And was this a good bond or through?
Signature bond through pretrial.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
No puede hacer uso de drogas, alcohol o armas mientras esté bajo fianza.
And is there anything else that I need to order, either from the state or from the defense?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
Okay.
Nada más se necesita ordenar.
All right, then that should conclude this matter.
Entonces esto concluye este caso.
All right.
Next, we have position 1, Bankston.
All right. And the interpreter, you may be released. Is that it for you?
I believe so, Your Honor, unless there is somebody else present right now.
That's it.
Yes, I think the deputy or Ms. Thomas or someone may have said our other case is medical. That's not going to be heard. That'll be reset till tomorrow.
Correct, Your Honor.
That was position, I forgot the
7,
number.
I believe it was 7.
7, okay. Yeah, position 7 is reset till tomorrow, 111.
Yes, they're at Grady.
Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
All right, have a good one, you too. All right, and which position again, Deputy? I'm sorry.
This is position 1, Mr. Bankston.
Okay, Mr. Bankston, this is case number 22 CR 000116B. You're charged with 1 count of simple battery with the offense date of 12/14/2020. Pretrial, what do you have?
Your Honor, 20 cycles, last arrest, March of 2020, for violation of probation in Fulton County. Underlying charge is battery, substantial physical harm. That was a conviction. Record also indicates the defendant is currently on probation for possession of cocaine and possession of MDMA. Case 16 SC 148297. Sentence February of 2019, 3 years probation. Additional probation out of Cobb County, possession of Schedule II controlled substance. Case 18-93144. Sentence January of 2019, 10 months confinement, 2 years, 2 months probation. Record indicates the defendant has 3 failure to appear and 5 violations of probation within the past 10 years. Nothing further to add.
All right, Ms. Guidry, how are you?
Good evening, Yara. Happy New Year as well.
Same to you.
Okay, so in this case, Your Honor, give me 1 second.
Okay.
Officers arrived on the scene at 320 Fairburn Road, Atlanta on December 14th of 2020. They spoke with Arvea, that's Arvea Jennings, common spelling, who stated that she and the defendant, who is the father of her children, were having a verbal argument. The defendant was presently holding a knife in his hand because he believed Ms. Jennings had a knife as well. After showing the defendant that she did not have a knife, the argument continued and the defendant pushed her to the ground with his hands. Ms. Jennings sustained a cut to her lip due to her biting her lip when she fell. Your Honor, the state is recommending a $6,000 surety bond, no further contact with Ms. Arvea Jennings, a stay away from 320 Fairburn Road, Atlanta, 1-day anger awareness, a third-party contact with the children, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Your Honor, the reason for the state's recommendation is given that the defendant may be a flight risk. He's a multi-state offender, given that he has an open charge in Florida for battery domestic violence. He also has numerous failure to appears. When I looked, he had 6 counts of failure to appears in 2019 alone. He's also a risk of reoffending. He has about 6 to 7 charges for battery, family violence, battery, aggravated assault, and also including aggravated battery. These were all dismissed for reasons unknown, Your Honor. However, all the victims seem to be women, so he has an issue with his hands against women. We're also concerned with him intimidating the witness. We spoke to Ms. Jennings, and she stated that there was another incident of violence in September of 2021 where the police were called because he tried to fight her. He snatched their 1-year-old child out of her hand and the baby hit the car, causing an injury to his eye. Yeah, so we are very concerned that he will commit these acts again, given that he has a violent history of past acts committed a battery against other women. And Your Honor, I did see that Ms. Arvea was on the Zoom, and if you'd like for her to speak, she is here.
Okay. And I guess we need to ask her if she wants to speak or not.
Yes.
Ms. Jennings?
Make sure. She may have left the Zoom. I don't see
I don't see it, Jennings.
No, she may have left. She was here though.
Okay. All right. For the state, we have Ms. Thomas. Go ahead.
Defense, Your Honor.
I'm sorry. It's the new year. Go ahead.
Thank you. Mr. Bankston is 37 years of age. He has been a Georgia resident, born and raised here. He also has a family, a host of relatives also living in Georgia. He is the proud father of 6 children, ranging in ages of 20 years of age down to 2 years of age. He expressed to me that he and Ms. Jennings do share children together. However, they do not live together. And being that this incident is from back in 2020, he expressed that they haven't had any communications. We are denying these allegations, Your Honor. I don't believe there's going to be any risk of intimidation, being that there hasn't been any incidents that have occurred allegedly since December of 2020. We're also asking that the court consider only the charges that have been legally prosecuted, not any that have only been mentioned and not reported. Your Honor, he is unemployed currently. He did express that he does not have the ability to make any bond amounts. So we are asking for a signature bond on his behalf. We also heard from the state that all of his prior DV cases were dismissed. We are asking the court to consider that as well. If Mr. Bankston is not eligible for a signature bond, I am asking for the bond to remain at set. It is currently set at $3,000 surety, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may I also add that Ms. Jennings also stated that he does live next to her. She stated that he moved across from her and that she is terrified of him. She also stated that he has been calling her in the jail, stating that she's the reason why he's incarcerated and she's very fearful of him. that is the reason why we believe that there is a risk of reoffending and that he will intimidate the witness because he's already started to call her, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we're not opposed to a no contact or obviously or stay away from Ms. Jennings' home location, but they don't live together. And I'm
Okay,
not sure what the proximity is of his residence to hers, but as I mentioned, we're not opposed to a stay away or no contact order.
okay. Okay, I'm going to continue with the $3,000 surety bond. And there should be no further contact with Mrs. Aver Jennings.
Yes, Your Honor.
There's a stay away from 320 Fairburn Road, Atlanta. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. And I want to make sure, Mr. Bankston, I'm not sure exactly how close your present residence is, but you are to stay at least 100 yards or more away from Miss Jennings. And if you see her coming and you're in the vicinity, you need to get away and stay away and not go any closer to her. And if you do live across from her apartment, you just need to make sure you're not coming out at the same time or anything like that. If you know you're closer than 100 yards to her, then you can be arrested again. Did I say no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond? I think I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your Honor, would you also like to add in the third-party contact with the children?
Okay, with the children, yes, thank you for that. And if there's any visitation with the children, that it be arranged through a third-party contact, that person needs to contact Ms. Jennings, and then you all can exchange the children for any authorized visitation via third party.
Thank you, ma'am.
And Your Honor, Ms. Jennings stated that she's on the call. She's iPhone.
Oh, let's see. Where? Ms. Jennings, can you take yourself off mute and turn on your camera for me if you want to address the court?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, do you want to address the court?
I wanted to say I wanted.
Hold on, that's a yes or no. First tell me yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, then I'm going to need to see you. And I'm going to swear you in before you begin to talk.
Okay, hold on a second.
Okay. Can you get your camera working?
Go ahead and start job therapy. I'm almost finished. Hello?
Yes, okay, I see you there at the top. Okay, can you raise your right hand for me, Ms. Jennings?
Mm-hmm.
Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth? Is the penalty of perjury? I'm not for sure if that person is going to allow you to do it. I understand. You probably disturbed their peace. Let's see. Okay, if you can unmute yourself.
Okay, it's unmuted.
Okay, all right, you can put your hand down.
Okay.
All right, tell me what you need to tell me about the incident on this date.
As far as the incident, he didn't think he didn't think that I had a knife. He said that I had a gun, and I pulled my clothes down to show him that I didn't. He stated that it wasn't a knife. It was like I guess a pocket. I don't know if it was a pocket knife or a fingernail clipper. But as far as the call from jail, he didn't threaten me. He just, I guess, called. I guess someone did call me and say he said get him out. But my main concern is not really far as like I'm not just scared to where I feel like he's gonna do anything to me. Our problem is more so of the separation and dealing with the kids. Is the third party situation. I'm not sure how that would work out because my kids are not allowed. Mr. Bankston is like he moved into like a couple feet in front of me. So we walk out the door, we're gonna see each other. My kids are not allowed to go into the home where he is because when I tried to do that, it was an altercation. So I don't know how it would work out as far as him seeing the kids. I don't mind him coming to see the kids, but I want no violent contact. I really don't want him on the property, but I mean I can't control that, so it's not much I can do as far as that. But I don't know. I just want to understand it with him on far as the kids because I know that the third party contact is only going to cause more problems.
It's very difficult when you're living across the hall from each other. But I guess you may have a peephole. He does. You look out. If you don't see the other one out, then go ahead and leave. If you do see the other one in the hallway or out there, if you open the door or go out, then you need to shut it and wait till that person clears that hallway, if that's the situation, so that you are not, either of you, violating any orders from the court to stay away. But I don't know that I would change anything. Like I say, we just need to make sure that he stays away from you and does not harm you or have any interaction with you while on bond. And I don't know, do you have a friend or a relative or anybody that could do a third party exchange between himself or yourself and the children?
I mean, I could ask, but I don't know how they would go with like the location that they would have. He doesn't have anyone that anywhere at this address that I'm comfortable with my kids going.
Well, then we'll just, if we need to, we can just order no visitation while on bond until you can get a third party to facilitate that. And if you can't, then you can't have any visitation, unless you, ask some of these visitation places to help you set it up with him, but there's probably a cost involved. But if you cannot have a third party to intervene or assist you, then there will be no visitation while on bond. So it would have to be that way. All right.
But I guess he can see him through his mom. Maybe she could pick them up and pick him up.
Okay, well, that'll be who you can name, and you may think of somebody else after you get off the call. But like I say, the two of you should not have any discussions or interaction regarding visitation.
Okay.
While he's on bond, okay?
Okay.
All right, anything else from the defense or from the state?
Nothing further.
All right, that will conclude my ruling.
Next, we have position 2, Blackman.
Okay. Okay, you Mr. Vernon Blackman.
Yes, ma'am.
This 22 CR 0001117A. You charged with 1 count of criminal trespass with the offense date of January the 8th, 2022. Miss, let's see, pretrial, do we have anything, Miss Harrison?
Your Honor, 89 cycles, last arrest December of 2021, criminal trespass in Doraville, Georgia. No disposition listed on that arrest. Record does indicate the defendant is currently on probation for aggravated battery and possession of cocaine, case 11 SC 1030046.
Not on probation with that.
Mr. Blackman, please be quiet and hold your questions or conversation while others are presenting the case. Thank you.
And case number 12S107093. They were sentenced February of 2012, 2 years confinement, 8 years probation. Additional open probation for terroristic threats and theft by shoplifting, case 20SC176725, sentenced October of 2020, 2 years probation. Additional open probation, simple assault and criminal trespass, case number 21CR005395C, sentenced October of 2021, 12 months probation. Record does indicate the defendant has 3 violations of probation for failure to appear within the past 10 years. He has a 2021 terroristic threats and acts out of Cobb. It was a conviction and a simple assault. Nothing further to add.
All right. Yeah, Ms. Guidry.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, on January 8th, 2022, officers arrived at 325 Ralph D. Abernathy Boulevard. That is the ATL Food Mart. They spoke with Mohammed, Mohamed Chowdhury, Cowdwdhary, who stated that the defendant was told to leave the location for over 30 minutes and refused during the 30 minutes. The officers arrived and they informed the defendant that the store clerk wanted him to leave and that he was not allowed on the property. The defendant refused to leave and stated that he wanted to go to jail. He was then arrested. The defendant currently has a $500 surety bond. We're recommending a $2,500 surety bond, a stay away from 325 Ralph D. Abernathy Boulevard, the ATL Food Mart, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Your Honor, the reasons for the state recommendation is the defendant's criminal history, meaning that he's a risk of reoffending, given that he has, including this charge, 90 arrests, which, as pretrial stated, given the terroristic threats, 2021 convictions, a 2020 conviction for terroristic threats, 2019. He also has criminal trespass convictions, and he also has open charges of criminal trespass, disorderly conduct, simple assault, criminal trespass again, and another disorderly conduct, all from 2021. And he's also a flight risk, given that he has those 4 FTAs given the 10-year period, and that's why the state's recommending such a bond.
All right. Ms. Thomas.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Blackman is 57 years of age. He expressed that he is a Georgia native, born and raised here. He did express to me that he has been homeless for the past 2 years and unemployed. He does not have a main source of income, so he's not going to be able to make the current $500 amount. He did provide me a mailing address, which is a relative's address that he'll be able to receive any court notice. And he did provide a telephone number. I am asking for a signature bond, being that this is a nonviolent offense. And again, Mr. Blackman does not have any source of income. And if he's not eligible for a signature bond, I am asking for the bond to be reduced to no more than $250. Again, any bond is going to be essentially no bond for Mr. Blackman, and he does not have the ability to pay. So I am asking for a signature bond or for the current $500 bond to be reduced to give Mr. Blackman that opportunity to maybe reach out to any relatives who that could possibly assist him. Again, he's a Georgia resident. His family resides here. He's also a father of 6 children who all reside in Georgia as well, Your Honor.
Okay. And where did you say he was working, or is he?
No, he is not working, Your Honor. He's not working. He doesn't have a main source of income. He's also not receiving any type of assistance.
Your problem.
Okay, I'm going to order a $2,500 good bond, a surety bond rather, I'm sorry, surety bond, 2,500. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. And a stay away, and I did not write down the numbers of Ralph David Abernathy.
325.
Okay, 325. Stay away from there. I did not hear anything on victims, so I'll leave that open. And I think that's it. Anything else I need to take up?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, that should conclude this matter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Next, we have position 15, trailer.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Okay. All right, this is position 15, case number 22 CR 000111E. Are you Mr. Is it Dennis Trailer?
Yes, this is.
Okay, Mr. Trailer. All right, making sure you can hear me. Can you hear me, Mr. Trailer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. All right, you're being charged with 1 count of battery family violence with the offense date of January the 8th, 2022. Do you have anything pretrial?
Your Honor, 16 cycles, last arrest, March of 2018 for possession of marijuana less than an ounce and DUI in Fulton County. No disposition listed on that last arrest. Record indicates a 2013 felony conviction for aggravated assault, 2 counts, cruelty to the children, 3rd degree, obstruction of law enforcement officers, and a reckless conduct. Nothing further to add.
All right. Mr. Long?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident stems from January the 8th of this year, and it occurred at 2748 Donald Lee Hollowell Park Northwest, and that's in Atlanta. This was a domestic call, and in this case, the defendant answered the door and told law enforcement that everything was fine. However, Ms. Brown can be heard by them in the background saying everything is not fine. The victim in the case is Renee Brown. She does appear to be on the Zoom. Law enforcement observed broken glass and picture frames, and they talked to Ms. Brown. Ms. Brown is the live-in girlfriend of the defendant. She indicates that a fight occurred when the defendant attempted to put her out of the residence. He got on top of her, punched her in the mouth, and used his fingernails to scratch her arms. Law enforcement could observe visible scratch marks on both her arms and upper chest. When law enforcement asked the defendant what had happened, the defendant indicated that nothing had happened and that he had scratches on his own legs. However, law enforcement did not see any scratches on the defendant's legs. And then the defendant indicated to just take both of us to jail, whereupon the defendant was arrested. Our victim witness advocate has had contact with Ms. Brown, and she indicated that she wants no further contact. However, she does live with the defendant and has nowhere else to go until next Wednesday when she gets paid. She wants to leave, but the defendant has not wanted her to. She also indicated that this incident occurred after the defendant was drinking and that the defendant becomes violent when he's drinking. Currently, it's set at no bond. We're asking for a $3,000 surety. No further contact with Renee Brown, that's R-E-N-E, Brown common spelling. Stay away from 2748 Donald Lee Hollowell Park, Northwest Atlanta, while the victim is still residing there. 1 day anger awareness, no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or firearms. The state's making this recommendation because we feel that he's at a high risk for reoffending based on the 2013 aggravated assault case and obstruction case. In that case, he steered a motor vehicle into one victim, swung at a different victim's head with a slapjack, and then swung his elbow at the law enforcement officer for an obstruction charge. He does appear to have that open DUI marijuana charge from March of 2018. That's a 20 CR case number. I also saw 4 prior assault arrests. 3 of them were disposition unknown. 1 of them was dismissed. History going all the way back to 1974. 2 prior convictions for carrying a concealed weapon. And also factually in this case, we're concerned that he may try and intimidate the victim, as he did appear to be concealing what had occurred to law enforcement, which was directly contradicted by the evidence that they observed with their own eyes. And for those reasons, we're asking for a $3,000 surety. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Gant.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Dennis Traylor is 64 years old. He is a lifelong Atlanta resident. In fact, he was born at Grady Hospital. We are opposed to the stay away, Your Honor. That is Mr. Traylor's residence. He states that Ms. Renee Brown stays there with him on occasion. However, that is his address. His name is on the lease. Mr. Traylor is married with 5 children. He has 13 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. He completed trade school. He worked as an electrician. However, he is retired and has been so for the past 2 years. He's on a fixed income. He informed me that he does not have anything to contribute to bond more than $100. And I have been in contact with his family members who are unable to contribute anything at this time. Therefore, I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Traylor's behalf. And if your honor is not inclined, then a bond of no more than $100. We are unopposed to the no further contact order. Again, we're opposed to the stay away order. Mr. Traylor, while I acknowledge his history, he has not had any convictions for violent offenses since 2013. So I would ask that the court take into consideration that, and also the fact that Ms. Brown was not a complaining witness or victim at that time. Furthermore, he has been regarding reoffending, we believe that the stay away order will take care of that, as again, he has not had any allegations of violence apart from this incident since 2013. I would ask that your honor not consider any DUI or marijuana open cases, as again, he is presumed innocent and they are unrelated to this offense at the particular time. And at this time, there's nothing further, your honor. Thank you.
Okay. All right, I'm going to order a $3,000 surety bond. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. I'm going to order, and I guess a temporary stay away from the 2748 Donald Lee Hollowell. I think that should be Parkway. Is that right, Mr. Long? I think you said Park. Did you mean Parkway?
I have Hollowell Parkway Northwest.
Okay, Hollowell Parkway Northwest, correct. So Mr. Traylor can go back there, I guess, in a week or so when Miss Brown is able to move out. No further contact with Renee Brown. And I think that resolves everything. Are you clear on that, Mr. Traylor? If you're able to make bond prior to Miss Renee Brown moving out, then you need to find somewhere else to live until she is moved out, and be very clear about that, or else you will go back to jail. Are you understanding of that, Mr. Traylor?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. And make sure you don't have any contact with Miss Brown. All right. All right, that should conclude this case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You got a $3,000 good bond.
What that mean?
You pay 10%. Next, we have position 3, Mr. Brown.
Okay. All right, you are James Lamar Brown. Can you hear me?
He's muted, courtroom 2.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay, all right. This is case number 22 CR 000114C. You're being charged with 1 count of criminal attempt to commit a misdemeanor and a 2nd count of theft by taking, both with the offense date of January the 8th, 2022. Do you have anything pre-trial?
Your Honor, 15 cycles, last arrest, November of 2012, battery, family violence in Fulton County. That charge was dismissed. He has no convictions within the past 10 years. His last conviction was in 2003 for possession of cocaine. Nothing further to add. He does meet the criteria for UJR for pre-trial.
Okay. All right, Ms. Guidry.
Yes, Your Honor. So here, officers arrived at the location of 37 Lyndhurst Drive, Southwest Atlanta. That is Bull, B-U-L, Food Mart. They spoke with Nestor Paco Nonconco. I'm gonna spell it. N-O-C-O-N-O-C-O. And Nestor is N-E-S-T-O-R. He's the cashier, who stated that the defendant had stolen keys that belonged to the gaming machines from the location on January 6th of 2022. Officers arrived on January 8th, 2022. The officer was provided footage which shows the defendant sitting next to a gaming machine where the keys were located. He then moves from different machines to retrieve the keys. A few moments, he's later seen looking out of the door of the room where the machines were. At this time, he had the keys. He then walks in the direction of the camera and points it down and returns to the machine. He can also be seen moving from different machines again, but the footage does not show him retrieving anything from the machines with the keys. Your Honor, at this time, the state's recommending a $2,500 signature bond, $1,500 on the theft, and $1,000 on the criminal attempt to commit a misdemeanor, a stay away from 37 Lyndhurst Drive, Southwest Atlanta, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. And that's simply because the defendant has no criminal history within the last 10 years.
Okay. All right, Ms. Thomas.
Thank you, Your Honor. I am requesting a signature bond for Mr. Brown. He is 47 years of age. He is born and raised in Georgia, so a proud Georgia native. He has family members also residing in the state. He is the proud father of 4 daughters, ages 19, 15, 13, and 7, who he still provides financially for. He completed the 12th grade, and he's also gainfully employed at the James Room, which is a bar where he has been the crew manager for the past 3 years. So again, Your Honor, I am asking for a signature bond. As we heard, he has no convictions within the past 10 years, and that recent charge was dismissed. So I'm asking for a signature bond or a bond amount no more than $1,000, being that Mr. Brown said that he can only make a bond no more. He has no more than $100 to be able to make bonds.
Okay. And tell me again what you said about employment. He is or is not working?
He is. He is the crew manager at the James Room Bar, and he has been working there for the past 3 years.
And again, Your Honor, we are asking for a signature. It's not a surety.
I'm sorry?
We are asking for a signature. It's not a surety that we're asking for.
Okay. And who resides at this Lyndhurst Drive? Oh, you said it was a store.
That's a store.
Yeah, it's a store. All right. So we'll go ahead and give him a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial. And we're going to order a stay away from the 37 Lyndhurst Drive Southwest. You're not to go back to that location, Mr. Brown. If you do, you will be arrested immediately, so do not go back to that store. And no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. And then you comply with the meeting requirements for a pretrial while you're on bond, okay?
Judge, what is the breakdown of that bond? He has 2 charges.
Oh, 1,500 on each.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. And have I addressed everything?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes,
Okay, all right, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Next, we'll have position 5, Mr. Cox.
All right, Mr. Darnell Tyrone Cox Jr.
Yeah, you know.
All right, this is case number 22 CR 0001119F. You're charged with 1 count of simple battery family violence with the offense date of January the 8th, 2022. Pretrial?
Your Honor, 23 cycles, last arrest September of 2019 for probation violation in DeKalb County. Underlying charge was not indicated. Record does reflect the defendant has 1 failure to appear and 4 violations of probation within the past 10 years. He has a 2020 DUI misdemeanor conviction, 2016 theft by taking misdemeanor, and 2016 theft by shoplifting, and 2019 and 2015 he pled a nolo to theft by shoplifting, 2014 theft by taking, simple battery in DeKalb, and a 2014 theft by taking, also out of DeKalb. Nothing further to add.
Okay. All right, Ms. Guidry.
Yes, Your Honor. Here on January 8th, 2022, officers arrived at 1048 Washington Street, Southwest Atlanta. They spoke with Lalisha, that is Lalisha Harris, common spelling, who stated that she and the defendant were having an argument, were at her apartment drinking and watching TV. She stated that the defendant was getting belligerent and he punched Ms. Harris 3 times on the left cheek with a closed fist. Ms. Harris did not have any visible markings or bruising at the time. Your Honor, the state's recommending a $3,000 surety bond, no further contact with Lalisha Harris, a stay away from 1048 Washington Street, Southwest Atlanta, 1-day anger awareness, third-party contact with any children. I believe they have children, but the defense can help with that, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Your Honor, the reason for the state's recommendation is given that I believe his last battery was in 2017, which he had an arrest for, but it was dismissed. And he also had 1 failure to appear. That was in 2007. He also has a long criminal history of 23 arrests, with more than 75% of that being convictions, mainly theft by taking and theft by shoplifting, and also that DUI. I also have a simple battery arrest and conviction from 2017 or so, and a criminal trespass conviction of 2017, and also a simple battery from 2014. Again, I also saw that the 2 do have children together, so we are concerned that he may come back to Ms. Lalisha and try to assault her again. So that's the reason for the state's recommendation.
Okay. All right, Ms. Thomas.
Thank you, Your Honor. I am asking for a signature bond on Mr. Cox's behalf. I'm also asking for no further violent contact and for him to be allowed to return back to the residence. I did speak with Ms. Harris, and she did ask for no further violent contact. And she stated that she does not fear him and that he can return back to the residence. Mr. Cox and Ms. Harris had been in a relationship for the past 10 years. They also share 5 children together. He is a Georgia resident, born and raised. His children's ages ranging from 8 years of age to 2 years of age. He also has other family members residing in Georgia as well. He completed his GED, and he's gainfully employed at the McCormick's Steakhouse, located at the Perimeter Mall, where he has been working for the past 3 years, Your Honor. So again, I am asking for a signature bond on his behalf, and if he is not eligible for a signature bond, I am asking for a bond amount no more than $1,000 at this time. Again, no further violent contact, and that he be allowed to return back to the residence.
And Ms. Harris is a girlfriend and not a spouse, is that correct?
That is correct. I don't believe they're married, but they do live at the apartment together, and both of their names are on the lease.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to order a $3,000 surety bond. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. I'm gonna order stay away from 1048 Washington Street Southwest. I don't know if that was correct or not. And, okay, I'm gonna order no further contact with Leila Harris.
Lalisha.
I'm sorry, Lalisha. Is it L-E-I?
Lalisha.
Okay, L-A-L-I, okay. Lalisha Harris, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so no further contact with her. And so Mr. Cox, you need to find somewhere else to stay if you get out on bond.
Your Honor, would he be allowed a one-time escort so he can get any personal belongings? And he does have an alternative address.
Okay, yes, I will. Good, I will order a one-time police escort to that property. You have to have a police escort and arrange for that, Mr. Cox, before you can go back one time to get your personal belongings. And I think that is it.
Can he have third-party visitation? They do share 5 children.
Oh, yes, you did mention 5 children. Yes, if there's going to be visitation, needs to be arranged through a third party. And find someone to arrange that, because you can't have any contact with Ms. Harris, okay, Mr. Cox?
Okay.
Okay, all right, nothing further, then I think we're all clear.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, that concludes this case.
Next, we have position 6, Mr. Davis.
All right, Mr. Danny Bernard Davis. Can you hear me? Okay, this is 22 CR 0000108E. You're being charged with 1 count of simple battery, a 2nd count of willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, both with the offense date of March the 6th, 2020. All right, pretrial.
Your Honor, 3 cycles, last arrest March of 2020 for battery and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers in city of South Fulton. No disposition listed. Also, he did appear in first appearance today and was granted a $5,000 good bond. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. I'd just like to clarify, the 2nd cycle that pretrial mentioned is the case that's before the court this morning. That would be the simple battery and the obstruction. The facts of this case would show that South Fulton PD did respond to a 330 Birchmere Close Southwest located in Atlanta, Georgia. Upon arriving at the incident location, the officer did speak to the victim, whose name is Albert Scott. Mr. Scott advised that Mr. Danny Davis did punch him in the face with a closed fist. Upon speaking with the defendant, Mr. Davis did admit to striking the victim with a closed fist. At that time, the officer did attempt to effect an arrest. At that time, Mr. Davis did physically resist the law enforcement officer, which is the basis of the obstruction charge. The state is recommending a $1,500 good bond to the 1 count of simple battery, the $1,000 good bond to the 1 count of obstruction. We are requesting a stay away from the incident location. Again, 330 Birchmere Close Southwest, Atlanta, Georgia, and no further contact with the victim, Albert Scott. and no weapons, drugs, or alcohol.
Raise your hand and say something.
Okay.
Your Honor, can I speak?
Mr. Davis, let me speak on your behalf. Courtroom 2, can you please mute? Your Honor, I'm going to ask for a signature bond. As we just heard, Mr. Davis was already previously arrested for these 2 charges. I'm not sure why he was rearrested, but when he was apprehended back in March of 2020, he already bonded out on these offenses. Also, we are opposed to the stay away. The 330 Birchmere Close address is his address, and Mr. Davis expressed that Mr. Scott was the primary aggressor and that he assaulted him on Mr. Davis's property. So again, we're asking for a signature bond and for that to be through the jail, being that Mr. Davis has already been arrested for these charges and he's already made bond previously, Your Honor. So I'm not sure again why he has been rearrested for these charges, and we are opposed to the stay away. That is his address. He is 59 years of age. He's been a Georgia resident since 1994. He has family members residing in Georgia. He has an adult daughter living in Georgia, and he also has 3 sons. Mr. Davis is currently retired, and he also receives SSI.
Okay. I'm going to order a $3,000 good bond, and that will be $1,500 on each charge. I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. I'm going to order that there be no further contact with the victim, Albert Scott.
Yeah, take me at my house. Can I take something, Your Honor? I don't even know this man. He'll take me in my house.
Right, Mr. Davis. So let me I've already expressed that to the judge, but Your Honor, may I ask why Mr. Davis would need to bond out again on the same charges?
It's my house. I was attacked, Your Honor. I was attacked at my house. I've been sick at my house. I got 2 cars.
Mr. Davis, Mr. Davis, let the judge continue her ruling.
So when did he bond out on them, and what's going on?
I'm not sure.
Mr. Water or Mr. Jordan or Mr. Walker, can anybody shed any light on this for me?
And it's also listed in pretrial report that these charges, his last arrest was March 6, 2020.
Which would be that same day.
This is the same case.
Mm-hmm. Does he have 2 cases? Was it
No, it's just 1 case. I'm trying to see what or if there is a bond out of South Fulton.
Oh, there's something else maybe. Hold on, Mr. Davis. Let us figure this out for a second, please.
Please.
Okay.
Please. I posted bond at East Point.
Mr. Davis, please remain silent.
I'm sorry.
We're trying to figure it out for you.
One second, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Bridgewater, can you ask Mr. Jordan to look at this for me?
Yes, ma'am. We're taking a look into it now.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. Judge, we're checking into it.
No worries, we'll recess or hold for a second.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yep, I was like, Deputy Falk will always help me, yes.
Not
I
super helpful
appreciate
today. I'm not gonna lie to you. So there is no indication, and I understand what Ms. Thomas is saying, that he was arrested by municipal court of South Fulton. What I can do is start calling down to South Fulton and get some clarity on that. In the meantime, what I would ask is if there are any other cases we can just move on to allow me some time to see if I can get an answer from South Fulton Municipal Court.
Okay, that may be where the mix-up is, yes, okay. Hold with him, Deputy, on Mr. Davis. Don't send him back yet.
Okay.
Let's move to another case. We're checking with South Fulton, and then we'll call him back up so that we can make sure we're doing the right thing. So give us a second, Mr. Davis, okay?
Next, we have position 8, Mr. James.
Okay. Are you Mr. Cameron Altry James?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is case number 22 CR 000-106F. You're charged with 1 count of battery family violence, 2nd count of hindering a person making an emergency telephone call. Both occurred on December the 2nd, 2021. Do you have anything pretrial?
Your Honor, 5 cycles, last arrest, February 2018, for battery, family violence, and simple battery. The battery, family violence was no pros, and the simple battery was a conviction. Record also indicates a 2011 simple battery, family violence in Loudoun County, Georgia. 1 violation of probation within the past 10 years. He is recommended for UJR group retrial. Nothing further to add.
All right, Mr. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor. The facts of this case will show that Sandy Springs Police Department was dispatched on December the 2nd of 2021 to the address of 6985 Roswell Road regarding a domestic disturbance. Upon speaking with the victim, whose name is Kymesa, spelled Kymesa Williams, she advised that the defendant came home at approximately 2 a.m. At that time, she did have her bedroom door locked. Because her bedroom door was locked, the defendant did become angry and began to yell and bang on the door. They do share children together. In an effort to prevent the defendant from waking up the children, the victim did unlock the door, at which time the defendant continued to grow angry. At that time, he did pick up a wood folding table and throw it and struck the victim in the head. At that time, the victim did grab her cell phone and attempted to call 911. The defendant did snatch the cell phone from the victim's hands, ran out of the apartment, and threw the cell phone across the parking lot. He did leave the scene of the incident at that time. The victim was able to contact 911 and officers were dispatched, and 2 warrants, 1 for battery family violence and hindering 911 were taken out. The state is requesting a $3,000 good bond on the 1 count of battery family violence. We are requesting a $2,500 good bond on the count of hindering a 911 call. We're asking for a stay away from the incident location, 6985 Roswell Road. No further contact with the victim, Kymesa Williams, and the attendance of a 1-day anger awareness course, along with the conditions of no weapons, drugs, or alcohol.
Okay. All right, Ms. Thomas?
Thank you. Mr. James is 33 years of age. He's been a Georgia resident for the past 28 years. He does have children here. He expressed that he has a 1-year-old son that he shares with Miss Williams. So we will be asking for a third-party visitation in exchange with Miss Williams for that child. We're also asking for no further violent contact. I did speak with Miss Williams, and she did express that she was okay with having contact due to them having a child together. They do not live together, so we're not opposed to stay away from Miss Williams' residence. Mr. James also has family members also residing in Georgia, and he's gainfully employed at the Buffalo Wild Wings, where he's been working for the past 4 months. And he also works at Cheesecake Factory, where he has been working for the past year, Your Honor. So again, I am asking for a signature bond. I'm asking the court to accept pretrial's recommendation, or in the alternative, if he's not entitled to a signature bond, a bond no more than $2,000.
And Your Honor, briefly, I understand that the defendant and the victim do have children together. Our office also did speak with the victim, and again, we are requesting no contact, and any childcare arrangements we are requesting that is handled by a third-party individual. The defendant does have, this is his 3rd cycle, and they are all violent offenses.
Okay, I'm going to order a $3,500 surety bond. And I'm going to, let's see, on the first charge, $3,000 and $500 on the second charge. That'd be the total of $3,500. And I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. And a stay away from the 6985 Roswell Road. And no further contact with Kenesha Williams. Third-party arrangements or a person to help facilitate visitation with the child. And it was something else. I think that's all that I need to say. Is there anything else that I've left out?
I think I asked for a 1-day anger awareness course.
Well, if he's still in on a surety bond, I usually do that when I do a signature bond, because I don't know if they'll be able to take that or afford that once they get out on bond. So
Okay.
I'll hold on the course for right now. But I'm going to order no further contact, Mr. James, with the victim, and be very careful on that. Even if she may want that contact, because you can end up back in jail. So if you need to visit with your child, you need to have a third party to help you arrange and facilitate that, okay? Just making sure making sure you understand that. All right. And I don't know, you don't have any items there that you need to go back and get, I'm assuming.
I do.
You do? So I'm gonna order a one-time, can you add this, Ms. Bridgewater, one-time police escort if you need to return to that location on Roswell Road to retrieve any of your personal items. But you must have a police escort. Cannot go back there without that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, thank you. That concludes this case.
Come on, Mr. Davis.
And this is which case, Deputy?
This is Mr. Davis again, position 6.
Oh, Mr. Davis, yes. Do we have an answer on Mr. Davis?
I am still on hold.
Oh, still on hold.
But we are now trying, I am now trying to get in contact with somebody to see who I know who used to work over at South Fulton, to see if I can get a different
Get
contact.
a contact, okay. We've got a couple of more, right, Deputy?
That was our last case. We do have position 12 on quarantine. Mr. Moore.
Oh, okay, 12 is on quarantine, okay. And what about position 17? White.
That's here, the South Annex. We have position
Oh.
4 and 17 here, the South Annex, Your Honor, whenever you're ready.
Okay, Deputy, I know I hate to hold you up. Can we do the South Annex and then come back to you for Mr. Davis?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
If you want, you can finish Rice Street, Your Honor.
We're trying to get some information and we're on hold. So unfortunately, I've got to tie them up. Hopefully they won't be too angry with me doing that on Mr. Davis. Yes.
You're
Quiet,
fine,
please. I have Miss Connor,
Okay, position 4.
position 4. Okay, switch.
Your Honor, we'd like to request a breakout room for that position.
Okay, for position 4.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right. Hold on a second, and that'll be Miss Guidry. Who else? Miss Gant.
Yes, Your Honor.
You want to join in, Mr. Walker, or no?
I'll join in, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll put Mr. Walker in as well.
Deputy Falk as well. I know she's on the phone, but she has.
Yeah. Okay, we'll add Deputy Fox. She might listen in.
I am listening, Your Honor.
Good. Okay.
They all went into a breakout room, Deputy Milton.
Oh, my bad. I was.
You know, like you were looking to see where everybody went.
Yeah, I was like, okay, am I supposed to go too? Oh, Lord.
Mom is here. Oh my God. Why is she doing that?
All right. Okay. Are you guys ready, Judge, for position 6? You're muted, Judge.
Not quite. We're almost there. We did discuss him at the end. We're still holding to get that information.
Okay.
I'm sorry I'm holding you up, but it's a little bit crucial that we find that out, because I certainly don't want him to be there if he doesn't have to be. So give me a few more seconds. I think we're close to getting some information.
Not a problem.
Okay. Back at the South Annex with Miss Connor. I still have Miss Connor at the table, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Miss Connor, I understand. Let me see first. Is it Regina Connor?
Yes, that's my mom.
Okay. Good first name there. Miss Connor, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. There you
That is
go.
a good great name.
That is a good first name.
Queen.
I appreciate your time getting on the call. Raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. And I want you to only talk about the incident that occurred on January the 8th. And we have somewhat stipulated a little bit. We want to be slightly confidential to your daughter in talking about some of her medical issues and concerns. But tell me how you feel about her returning to the home, about your safety and things of that nature.
Okay, with her returning to home, I don't fear for my safety. That we don't, I talked to my son, he does not fear for his safety. I asked him, would he be okay if she come back, and he said, of course.
Well, what about you as the mom? It's your home, I'm assuming.
It is my home. She's my daughter. I love her. I don't fear for my safety at all.
But as a mom, if you all are not getting along, or is she having issues, I guess, with her brother? I understand he's 25, she's 29. Is that correct?
Right. She doesn't have an issue with him. The issue more so is with me. I think he heard the argument with her when she was trying to argue with me and just tried to step in. But I don't have an issue with Naya being here. I don't fear for my safety with her coming home.
Okay. Does she have an alternative place to go?
Does not.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
She doesn't have anywhere else to go.
Okay. And I don't know, her attorney, Ms. Gant, did you say she did have an alternative location, I thought?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I may try that for a moment, just to make sure that you all will be able to get along and cool off. Maybe you can at least talk. I will order no further violent contact, just to make sure maybe there can be some healing going on between the family. But I'm going to go ahead and give her a signature bond through pretrial in the amount of $3,000. And that'll be $1,500 on each charge. I'm going to order that there be no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. I'm going to order the one-day anger management course with pretrial. I'm going to order a no further violent contact with the mom, that's Regina Connor. And I'm inclined, am I putting the brother in there as well, Christian Connor? Or was he listed as a victim on the case?
He was listed as a victim as well.
Okay, so no further violent contact with either victim. But I will say, Ms. Connor, Nia Connor, to please make sure that you're careful when you're going around your family. I'm not going to order a stay away from that location unless you tell me you want to be ordered not to go back there. But I think that it would be good if I ordered to stay away. Are you okay if I order stay away, Miss Nia Connor?
First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for your ruling. But if I can talk to my boyfriend's father first, that's the only way I can test that to cool off and get I don't know, whatever the buildup was with me and my mom, because we're usually good. I think it's just me being anxious and just a lot of stuff. But
limit, please just answer what the judge has asked you, Ms. Connor, regarding the stay away.
If I could just talk to my boyfriend and or his father, because that would be the alternate address. It's not right. I have to talk to them first.
Okay, well, you may be out of jail before you get an answer to it. So I will not order a stay away at this time. But I do say to all of you to be careful, and hopefully there's some healing that will go on. You can go back there as long as you think it's going to be safe for you, because I don't want you to go back and get back arrested again. But what I'm going to order is that you have an evaluation by the behavioral health and social workers provided from the PD's office, and speak to your attorney about it, and so that we can get you back on track. And she can give you some resources to help you with what you need to get back on track, and some financial resources as well. And so we want to make sure that we support you to stay on track and to not get arrested again. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to order that, and I think you know what I'm mentioning and meaning, so that you can get what you need and help you financially get what you need, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And I want you to promise to get what you need and do what you need to do, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so Mom, if you can support her, that'll be fine. But I'm going to give her this signature bond in hopes that things will obviously get better. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, and then Miss Connor, Nia, you have to report to pretrial and make sure that you do what they require of you as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, that should conclude this matter.
Sorry, Mom.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Are you ready for position 17, Your Honor?
I am.
That's Ms. White.
Okay. Is that Diana? Or yeah, I need to pronounce it White. You're being charged in case number 22 CR 000112J with the charge of simple battery. The offense date is January the 8th, 2022. Do you have anything pre-trial?
Your Honor, GCIC indicates no prior history. She does meet the criteria for UJR through pretrial. Nothing further to add.
All right. Mr. Long?
Thank you, Your Honor. This occurred at 327 Peters Street, Southwest Atlanta, 30313, which appears to be the Escobar Restaurant and Tapas Lounge. Police responded to a dispute, and the dispute was between General Manager Reginald Hoskins and the defendant. Mr. Hoskins, which is Hoskins, was trying to get a female employee, the defendant, to cash out or close out properly before leaving the business. And he had security stop her from leaving. As they were escorting her back into the business, she swung at Mr. Hoskins and struck him in the face. There's video footage of the strike. Security then detained her until police arrived. The state's recommendation is, currently the bond is set at no bond. The state's recommendation is $1,000 surety, no further contact with Reginald Hoskins, stay away from 327 Peters Street, Southwest Atlanta, 1-day anger awareness, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. The basis for our recommendation is that she told the police that she is from Tennessee, and the police report indicates that her home address is Nashville. And based on the nature of the charge, we are concerned about flight risk as well as potential for more violence. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Gant.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Today I am requesting a signature bond on Ms. White's behalf. As we heard through pretrial, she meets criteria and she has no prior history. She disputes the allegations. In fact, she states that she had been having some issues with the general manager regarding sexual harassment. She felt threatened. At this time, she is no longer employed. She resigned from that position. So therefore, we are unopposed to the stay away and the no contact request. Ms. White is 19 years old. She lives in Tennessee. However, she commutes to Atlanta every week for employment on weekends. She completed high school and she is currently enrolled in No, let me back up, Your Honor. She is a licensed esthetician. However, she has been admitted to Tennessee State University and will be attending in the summer of 2022 to pursue studies in business management. She has acquired new employment at the 7 Sports Bar. She started training 1 week ago. Therefore, she needs to get back to work to secure that employment. Again, she disputes these allegations and she's anxious to defend against them. Therefore, we are not concerned at this time about any issues for flight risk. We have not heard about any prior FTAs. And for these reasons, Your Honor, I am requesting a signature bond. If Your Honor is not inclined, then a bond of no more than $500. Thank you.
Okay, so Ms. White is 19 and she commutes from Tennessee. And I guess that's going to be temporary until she starts TSU.
Yes, Your Honor.
And next summer of 2022.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, congratulations to you on that, Ms. White. And I admire your commitment to work and commute back and forth some hours. And where's the 7 Sports Bar? That's here in Atlanta?
It's in Stockbridge.
Stockbridge, okay. All right. I'm going to order a signature bond. And she doesn't need a cosigner because she's over 18. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So I will give a $2,000 signature bond. And that's through pretrial. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while you're on bond, Ms. White. And you've got to report and do the conditions required of pretrial. I'm going to order the 1-day anger awareness course through pretrial. I said no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. I'm going to order you to stay away from 327 Peter Street, Escobar, and Tapa's Lounge. I'm going to order you to have no further contact with the victim, Reginald Hoskins, and I'm assuming so you've quit, you don't work there anymore, so you have no reason to go over there. If you're out somewhere and you see Mr. Hoskins, you need to go the other way so that you're not accused of violating the terms of your bond, okay?
Okay.
You have no contact with him whatsoever. And I guess that is it. Is there anything else I need to take up?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay.
Nothing further from the defense.
All right, good luck to you in college and go have some fun in Nashville at TSU.
Thank you.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And may we be excused from court from the Zoom?
Yes, yes, you may. And so, do we have any update on Mr. Danny Davis?
We do, Your Honor.
Okay.
So I was able to contact the East Point Jail. The defendant did previously bond out on these charges. He was granted a $1,000 surety bond on each count. Due to the nature of the charges, South Fulton Municipal Court automatically bound his case over to our jurisdiction, and that's the reason why we have it now.
Mm-hmm.
So because he has previously bonded out, we would just ask for a signature bond since he has already made bond.
Okay.
But we are asking for no contact with the victim, whose name is Albert Scott.
Okay. So, I guess Ms. Falk, and I was also seeing if Michael Jordan was still on. So I'm granting him a signature bond on top of the surety bond that he's already bonded out on, or just to make sure he can bond out of Fulton County Jail.
I think it's to make sure he can bond out of Fulton County Jail. Because for whatever reason, we can't dismiss the underlying charges,
Right.
because they are valid and we have an accusation. That's why I would either recommend, and I know we do signature bonds, not UJRs. So that's the only reason I would recommend a signature bond, just to ensure that he actually does get out, because I know the jail won't let him. I mean, short of a court order from Your Honor, I don't see how the jail is going to release him without something.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Hadn't had this to come up before, but I know stranger things have happened. So just want to make sure, Mr. Davis, that you get out. So I'm going to grant you a signature bond for the same amount. I think it was $3,000.
It was $1,000 on.
Oh, I'm sorry, $1,000.
But
Okay.
I have it as $1,500 each. A total of $3,000, $1,500 each.
Okay. Well, it won't matter. It'll be a signature bond. We'll do a signature bond. I'm sorry.
Who is it, through the jail or pre-trial?
The jail, Your Honor, please.
Yeah, Your Honor, because he was bonded out, I'd recommend through the jail, not through.
That'll be quicker. Okay. All right. I will do, what I'll do is a $3,000 signature bond, $1,500 on each through the jail. And so then he can sign his own bond and get out as soon as they process him. Okay. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while you're on bond, Mr. Davis. And you are to stay away, or have no further contact, rather, with Albert Scott, and stay away. Was it 330 Birchmere?
Your Honor, that's his address.
Oh, that's his address. That's right. I'm sorry. So there is no stay away, but just no further contact with Albert Scott.
Right. He'll take me in my house.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Davis, we understand your frustration. You have to be quiet.
Okay, and I understand that is your address. I apologize, Mr. Davis, correct? Okay, but if you go back to that address and Mr. Scott is there, you're gonna have to be the better person and leave and make sure that he's not there, okay?
I understand, Mr. Davis. Please remain silent. Courtroom 2, can you please mute so the judge can finish her ruling?
Okay, I do kind of understand what you're saying, but just I want you to be careful because I don't want you to be arrested again for violating your bond conditions. So you have to stay away from Mr. Scott and make sure that you don't go anywhere that Mr. Scott is located. That's what I want to make sure of, because I'm not ordering to stay away from that location, but just in case, I don't want you to get arrested again, because you're going to get out on the signature bond as soon as the jail is able to process you. But I want you to be careful because you are to have no further contact with Mr. Albert Scott, okay? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay. All right.
You heard me, Judge. We're completed here in courtroom 2.
Okay, thank you.
And with that, if we're ready to go over the calendar, are you all are?
I think we are.
Okay, well, let's do it.
For the new year.
For the new year. Before I get started, let's go dogs tonight, okay?
Woo!
Can we do that?
Uh-oh, Mr. Walker didn't smile, but we'll forgive him for that. No.
All right, so again, the reset date for SAP is going to be January the 25th. And for those who have a signature bond, it will go back to their original judge. Okay?
Gotcha.
So position number 1 is being reset to the SAP calendar with a $3,000 good bond. Position 2 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $2,500 good bond. Position 3 is going to be reset further notice with the $3,000 total SOB through pretrial, and that's 1,500 SOB through pretrial each charge. Position 4 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial, and again, that's $1,500 per charge. Position 5 is reset SAP with a $3,000 good bond. Position 6 is being reset further notice with a $3,000 total SOB through the jail. And again, that's a $1,500 SOB through the jail per charge. Position 7 is being reset till tomorrow. Position 8 is being reset to the SAP calendar with a $3,500 total good bond. Position 9 is being reset to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 total good bond. Position 10 is being reset further notice with a $4,500 total SOB through pretrial. Position 11 reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 12 is being reset till tomorrow. Position 13 is reset further notice with a $3,500 SOB through pretrial. Position 14 is being reset to the SAP calendar with a $4,000 total good bond. Position 15 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $3,000 good bond. Position 16 is being reset further notice with a $2,000 total SOB through pretrial. And position number 17 is being reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. Are there any questions, comments, corrections, or?
Just needed some clarification on position 8. I thought it was a $3,500 surety bond, but, and you may have said that, I may have misheard.
Yes, I said a $3,500 total good bond, $3,000 on the first charge and $500 on the second.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, and thank you once again, Deputy Falk, for all of your investigatory skills. I appreciate it.
Well, I gotta admit, Ian brought it home on Mr. Davis. That was no credit to me. My contact, flopped on me at the last minute. So that's all credit to Mr. Walker.
Mr. Walker has a contact too. Good. So I know who to call. I tell you. Good. Thank you all for helping us out.
Not a problem.
All right.
Happy New Year.
All right. Happy New Year. You all
Happy
take
New
care
Year.
next time. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Judge, I'm getting ready to send this to you.